Hey everybody, so I am here with my new Filter Queen Triple Crown Majestic. Um, for a long time I never thought that I'd ever be interested in getting one of these, but for a little while I thought about it and thought that it'd be kind of cool to own one because I read places that the Filter Queens actually were really good vacuums and they did clean very well. And what really pushed me was because when I was looking for an Electrolux, the only things that anybody had was I actually saw two Filter Queens, and then there was an additional one for like $30 that this guy was selling, but it was way far away, and he didn't even live there. It would be like a shop sort of thing that I'd have to go down there and meet him in a warehouse and blah, 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 and I wasn't doing that. So I found this one for sale on a Facebook website sort of thing, and the woman was selling it for 25 bucks, or not 25 bucks, 75 bucks. And it had all of its attachments. She said that it was in really great shape. Um, and she was an older lady, and you could tell that she had a decent amount of money. She showed up in a red Infiniti SUV, and um, she was very nice. She was very presentable, and she smelled good. And I met her down like an hour and a half away from where I live, but it wasn't a big deal because I kind of regularly visit that area, so it wasn't a bad thing. Um, and I went after work, and of course, ATMs, again, I ran into that problem. Uh, I could only withdraw in amounts of 20, so I ended up giving her 80 bucks for it, which wasn't bad. She said, "Are you sure that's okay?" And usually they'll say, "Well, you drove all the way down here, so," or they'll have cash, they'd give me 5 bucks, but whatever. So the lady said she had hip replacement. She was an older woman, and she was moving back to California, and this wasn't something she wanted. She got a Dyson ball instead. But she said it was a very good vacuum. It ran really well. It had a lot of power, and I was going to be very happy with it. And despite the fact that the power nozzle is taken apart, I am very happy with it. It runs like a top. It is very quiet. I constantly find myself getting a vacuum that somebody had on YouTube, and they've said that it was quiet, but it didn't sound quiet in the video. And this one is. It's very quiet. It's not much louder than my Electrolux Ultra Silencer. I'd say that this is probably the second quietest machine that I have, which is nice because it's a high-end canister that performs really well. And it's my only high-end canister that's quiet. My Rainbow's not that quiet. It's not loud, but it's about average. And the Electrolux it roars like that. Guardian is loud. I have not used it since I posted the airflow video. And I've considered getting rid of it, but at the same time, I like the sidekick attachment to do my car, and vacuums aren't that loud outside, so I may end up just keeping that. But I also have another machine on the way that I ordered brand new in a box. It's a Kenmore progressive upright, but it has an electronic height adjustment and variable suction, and it's bagged, and it's really nice looking. And they sold those probably around the same time that Electrolux Oxygen video that I'm going to be posting soon, if I haven't posted it already, came out. So, but back to this Filter Queen. When she opened the trunk of the car, this is all I saw was the back of the Filter Queen, and it was charcoal, and I was like, does she have like a bunch of these? And because the one I'm buying is supposed to be red, and then she flips it around, and then the front's red, and I'm like, oh my god, is it like pieced together? But no, the back half is charcoal, and the front half is red. And there are a couple scratches on it and scuffs, but I mean, this vacuum is easily 20 years old. It was definitely made before 97, I believe. I don't know how to date these machines or anything like that. But she said it had a brand new charcoal cone in it, but it needed the new filter cones. So I bought some what I thought were generic, but they're actually name brand because they are EnviroPure, and the one sticker on the back is EnviroPure, and the filter cone that's the charcoal is EnviroPure. So I actually ended up buying name brand ones. So that was good. And it came with these filters. So if somebody can tell me where these go, I would very much appreciate it, because I have no idea. I don't really know at all. But I need to order a belt for the power nozzle, because the power nozzle turns on. And I thought that it was grooming really well, but apparently that was just the suction. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I did end up popping the cart or the bare floor tool on and tried to vacuum a little bit, because I wanted to see how well it picked up. And it does pick up very well. The whole inside of the container, she wiped it out. It's in very good shape, but now it's got dirt in it from me. But it's got a lot of fine dirt in it. So I think I'm really going to like this vacuum. And the power nozzle is actually very lightweight. I thought that it was made out of metal, but it's not. This is just a plastic top, but the power nozzle itself is pretty well made. I'm probably going to buy a new brush because the strips are pretty worn on it, and a new belt, because I've never actually seen a bad vacuum belt before. But this one, as you can see, it's got cracks and splits in it. If it'll focus. And it's not. I can't get it to focus. But it's got cracks and splits. Just take my word for it. It's bad. Because when I pick the power nozzle up off the carpet, the brush starts to spin. And then when I set it down, it instantly doesn't spin anymore. And this carpet isn't all that plush. And I even adjusted the nozzle on the back, and it's not going to run unless I get a new belt. So the hose isn't in bad shape, but it's definitely used. And there's some scratches on the handle and such, but even the tools and everything, I think that they work really well. I actually used the vacuum to vacuum out the power nozzle because it had some dirt and stuff in it, and I'll turn the vacuum on so you can see. There's only one concern I have, because I popped the top off of this, and I can actually see the electricity flowing inside of the vacuum, and I don't know if that is safe or not. Very quiet. It's the 2-speed. But if you pop this off, you can see the electricity right there. I don't know if that's safe or not, but it's very quiet, and you can really feel the air flowing in it. As you can see, there's a sock. I'll put it away from the air. As soon as I put it in front of the air, it starts to blow the sock away. It's got a lot of airflow. This is on low, but she didn't really use the attachments on it. The brush is in very good shape, but it's made out of metal, so it's oxidized a little bit from being old. And I don't know where that other attachment, the floor tool, is in really good shape as well. The only thing I don't like about these, I don't like the way that the push button disconnect for the wands and the attachments are made. I don't like the, I don't know. To me, I don't really care for the way that it's designed, because you have to push on this, and it's all rubberized, and I feel like you really have to squeeze on it, because the rubber kind of conforms or contorts or kind of bends the button, or the button bends the rubber, so you actually have to push even more to actually get the pin to move. And apparently you can put scents in this. I'm not going to do that. But the other thing that I was very surprised about was how small the vacuum is. And I think that videos are very tricky to watch and see how big a vacuum is. And it almost, to me, looked like it was going to be like the size of a shop vac. Well, here is my Dyson V6. And you can see the Filter Queen isn't really much bigger than it is. The Dyson's actually longer than the Filter Queen. So don't think that you're going to get this vacuum if you decide to buy one used or new, and it's going to be a mammoth vacuum. And it is, it's not the lightest canister, but this is plastic. The tub is plastic. Just the bottom is where a lot of the weight is. But the motor is a decent heft to it. But it's a canister. It's got a good mounted handle right on the top, and it's well balanced. And it's not going to tip because it has 4 caster wheels on it. It's very quiet, and it really is built to last. Even the newer ones, I don't think are made much different from this. But the filter cones, taking it apart, it's very easy. All you have to do is put the cellulose filter on the outside, then the charcoal cone, and then the motor dome goes on the top. It's very easy to do. And even when I popped open the power head, it has a little yellow instruction piece that tells you how to change the belt and the brush. That's very simple as well. So I think I've pretty much got the Kirby, the Rainbow, the Electrolux, and the Filter Queen, the main machines that were sold door to door. But the Filter Queens are definitely the rarest out of all of them, because the Electroluxes, they're not a dime a dozen. People do want a lot for them, but you can find them easily on eBay and Craigslist. Locally, people have them. And in my area, the Rainbows are actually pretty common. Not so much the new ones, but that's because people aren't quite done with them yet. You may see a couple that people are asking a couple $1,000s for, and then you see a bunch of Kirbys. But you don't see a lot of Filter Queens for sale. Now, I don't know if that's because of how pleased people are, because they don't. It is a bagless vacuum in a way. It's like a hybrid. It's got a bag cone sort of thing, but the cones are cheap. And the vacuum's very versatile, and it's not taking up a bunch of room like the canister is for it. So you're not lugging the Kirby around, and you don't really have a bag, but you're not changing the water and storing everything separately like the Rainbow and having to change the water out all the time. So it's kind of like the Filter Queen is the best of both worlds. You're getting a high-end machine, you're getting a reputable brand, and a machine that a lot of people know the name of or they've heard of, but you're not having to put up with the Kirby, you're not having to put up with the Rainbow. So I don't see myself getting rid of this vacuum. I'm excited to own it, and I'm glad that I got the gas pump or the pistol grip handle. So if you have any questions, and please let me know about those filters and that electrical thing that I see in the top. And let me know what you think. Comment, ask questions if you want to. And I'll be posting more videos shortly.